Hello, my name is Jennifer, and this is my attempt of the Rory Build Challenge House 2. I like working off of floor plans. It just gives you some guidance as to what to do. It's kind of interesting. So I thought this house looked kind of neat, and I thought it would be fun to try. So this is, I moved the house because I have a tendency of not putting them in the right place in the first place and then having to move it, which is one thing I really like about Sims 4, the fact that you could move the house. And the parameters, as I did put up at the beginning, was that the value is supposed to be 70,000. I thought that would be really easy, but I actually found that a struggle. In the end, you'll see me like selling some things to finish furnishing the house, like the bathrooms in the house. But and in this front part, looks like it's supposed to be a bay window with a window seat, which of course they have bay windows in Sims 4, but you can't put seats in it. So I decided just to build it out, and then in the end put a little couch in there to represent the window seat. So that was sort of my take on that part of it. And here I used the flooring, I think, for the main, for most of the house is flooring from the vampire pack, and here I'm trying to play with and figure out what floor I want in the kitchen area. And I think in the end I use a dine out flooring, and then I use a darker floor coloring, though I actually had my son help pick out some of the colors and whatnot, so he was in here when I was building it. And that's the wallpaper from the vampire pack. Now, I was trying to look for something that was more yellow, because the house looks like it's yellow, the siding on the outside, but this was like the closest I could find in terms of the siding. So it's not really very yellow. It looks a bit more yellow. It must depend on the time of day in the game, because I know later on when I take the shot of it, it doesn't seem yellow. It seems kind of white, but and I did put white for where the bay window is, kind of thing, with the frame, but that was kind of it. And I did struggle with the this part of the roof was okay. It wasn't so bad, but the roof to the side there, I had a hard time trying to get it to work, because roofs are definitely not my strong point in Sims 4. I find them hard to do. Though, I mean, they're probably not that bad, and they're not that bad in Sims 4, but it just in the other Sims 2 and Sims 3, which I played more recently, you have auto roofs, so then you don't actually have to do the roofs. So that's what makes them easier, that you don't actually have to build the roofs in those games, which is usually what I used, auto roofs. But you have to do roofs in Sims 4 because they don't have it. And see, it kind of looked like there was a bit of an overhang, but with that type of roof, it doesn't have an overhang, so I put the roof out. I think in the end, probably off camera, I take it back in because I don't actually like the way it looks. But throughout the build, it stays like that. So I did take me quite a while to build this, so this is in very fast speed, especially the building part, because I'm very slow at building. And it is a 3-bedroom house with a office area, and I did leave it as the office as an office, but there is one area that's supposed to be a laundry room, but we don't have laundry yet. Hopefully we'll get it in Sims 4, so I made that as a 3rd bathroom. Just because I figured we may as well use the space for something beneficial and useful. Because I find, because I did actually create a little family, they're out at the front, and it's parents and their child and a toddler. And I did, so that's sort of who I had in mind when I made the bedrooms and whatnot, decorated the bedrooms. So there, I'm trying to figure out what door to use, because that's sort of would be a good place to sort of like a shed out back. It would have been a good place to put the garbage can, but I didn't know how well it would work. Like, you could put it in there with move objects on, but sometimes even if you can place things with move objects on, they don't work very well afterwards. So I ended up not putting it in there just because I didn't know if it would work. But I tend to not have auto counters on, which is why I had to like place the flat counters there and then put the corner in afterwards. And this looks in the floor plan as if it's wall-to-ceiling pantry type thing, but I figure if you want to get a lot of things on the counters, which I don't end up using that much because like I said, I run out of money, so I don't put very much. I would like to put a tea maker and, you know, a microwave, because there's a toddler and there's foods that you can only do with a microwave. But there's the space for it to place those types of things out if you were to use this house, and it has room for it. So that's why I didn't use the floor to ceiling there. And there's me putting the little couch to make it like a window seat. in this room. And I make it sort of white. That's my son's favorite color, so we went for white and then the little diamonds to offset it. And I sort of don't stick to one room, I just kind of go around. And that's the toddler's room, so I've used the toddler wallpaper there. I knew that's what I was going to use, and I just end up, I think, mostly furnishing this, and I move things around a little later, but at the moment this is what the floor plan is. And so the toddler is a girl, and there's a little boy too. The child is a boy, but I figure the dollhouse is kind of good to have in a bedroom, because then you can lock the door, so if people come over, they can't all get into the space, and then it stops people from breaking your dollhouse, because it is a prime target for getting broken by lots of people. I've had that happen in my game quite a lot. So I put the bathtub separate from the shower, and I don't remember if the floor plan is that detailed. I really can't remember. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I just sort of did that so that you can put the tub in either way, but it's the shower combo you have to put in a certain way. It's not so easy to flip them around. But then again, you don't need the space if you had a shower combo one. So this is the master bedroom, and I get a picture out. And this is the bed from, I believe, the vintage Glamour stuff pack, and it's got a pretty decent comfort and all that, and good for sleeping. And then I grab, so this room has a lot of vintage stuff in it. And I'm just trying to look and see. And I put a closet. There's her closet, so I added a closet in there, and then I have a closet for his closet, which was on the floor plan. See, I've come back to the toddler room. I'm very prone to doing that, jumping around. I get an idea, I get the basics, and I think the pictures came up, and I thought, well, I'll come in and put pictures in the other rooms. And I was thinking of putting this is going to be the boys' room. And I do not use a single bed. I actually prefer to use double beds for the kids, especially since the monster's under the bed, because that's a good way of not having any monsters. And I was thinking of putting a closet there, but in the end, I just put a door and make it with these types of things, which right now I'm putting outside of the closet area, but in the end, you'll see this is where I'm starting to do it now. And I put a door on there and just make it a decor closet as opposed to an actual closet from Get Together. I just play around, I look for those, and I put them in there. This changes a little bit later because, like I said, when I run out of money, I stuck to that 70 pretty much. I probably should have just increased my money and done it that way, but the basement in the house ends up getting made even smaller and is left completely unfurnished. But in the floor plan, there's stairs to the basement, so that's why there is a basement to the house. So this is the closet, and I realized I didn't put any flooring there, which of course it wouldn't have mattered if I'd had the other type of closet. And I decided I like to cycle through all the colors, trying to figure out what one I like the best. And then I look for a couch and a love seat. And then I think about putting a chair over there in the corner, but I know I don't end up using that. I can't remember if I get another couch, love seat, or a chair or whatnot. And there's, like I said, I move things around a little bit just to make it, because that's essentially, I think there ends up being their only bookcase, that toddler bookcase, so I put it out in the open area. It also gives me more room in the room, the kids' room. And then earlier on, I put all the lights out just so I could see what I was doing to add to the lighting in the place, as opposed to putting the lights in afterwards. And I replaced some of the lights with different ones. And here I'm, at the moment, in the office area. I actually like to use the dining tables for the chairs, for the desks, because then you can put the computer anywhere you want on it, whereas with the desks, you're locked to the specific location. And if I'd had the money, I would have put a better computer and 2 computers in here, but in the end, I just have it. I saw someone do this in their build where they put the desks facing each other, and I thought that was a really good idea. And so I probably will take that into a few of my builds going forward, just in general plays in my houses. So I do try to put a bookcase there, and in the end I don't use that bookcase. I think I put some decor item over there. And I debate about using that comedy thing, because they can also use that for building their singing skill. But I leave that, and I was hoping I would be able to put a stereo on there, but it only lets you put decor items on it, so I end up putting the stereo on the desk, and that's where I put the piece of plant over in that corner. Let me see. and then putting some little clutter bits out. Very inexpensive. They don't really add. They're not a big expense item. So yeah, I end up putting a little stool there and not another love seat. And that's the table from the movie stuff back because it has the mirror. It reflects the mirror. And I look for a piece here to put a little. Oh no, not yet. I get the vase. I decide to put them over there in the corner to fill up that space. And some of them are big. I don't really use a lot of clutter, and that little rooster is actually pretty expensive, and I just thought it looked kind of cute. But in the end, we have to get rid of it because it's too expensive, and I need the money to help me finish the bathrooms. That's pretty sad. So this wallpaper, I had my son help pick, and he liked those dots on the wall behind the bed. So I do think of changing it later, but we left it because I left it. We left it. He convinced me to leave it there. So now it's a dining area. Now I really wish they would have an actual table that size instead of having to use move objects on to put it, because when I try to add some clutter onto it later, it doesn't really, you can't get it right in the middle, or at least I don't have the ability to get it right in the middle, and maybe other people who are more experienced with building and placing clutter. I don't put a lot of clutter out in my games because it can slow down your game if you have too much stuff out on your property, lots of clutter and stuff like that. And I don't actually like clutter in real life very much, or decor items, just a few kind of minimalistic. It's not how it is because I've got kids and we've got lots of stuff around, but that's how I prefer it to be. So I put a desk in here, or a table as a desk. And see, this is what I mean about liking to put tables as opposed to desks, because I was able to put the chair over to the side. But in the end, I think I do get rid of that computer because I don't have the money for it. But so this house has got a lot of skilling items for, the people who are in the house. We have, the kids have, the child has a lot of things. They don't have that table, the mental table that they use for their mental skill, but they catch a lot of fires with that. So I usually don't tend to buy that until their mental skill is higher. And then I lock it somewhere where people coming over can't use it because it's a fire hazard. But so the furniture in here is not childlike, so it would be something that would grow with a child. But all the other little things were more child friendly. And here I even put a few window coverings. I don't know that I end up having enough money to put window coverings everywhere. I can't remember, but I do get them in the bedrooms and the bathrooms at a minimum, and they don't fit over some of the windows very well. These ones are okay, but I know in the boys' room I have a hard time getting them out there. And I put a little patio area out here. I like this patio table I use is the one from Backyard Stuff, I think, the one that came with the slip and slide or whatever. They don't think they call it a slip and slide, but the slip and slide equivalent. But I cycle through trying to figure out here which chair to get, if they have a plain chair, but I think in the end I don't find one, but the white goes. And I like to put monkey bars out there for kids. And my nod to a little bit of landscaping, that's when I think I realized that it's a little bit still too close to the front. I'm very prone to doing that, and I don't put the fence all the way around because I don't have the money for it, but in the picture it looks like there is some picket fencing type thing, and that was the closest I could find to put there. And then I do put some landscaping, and I'm trying to look for something that kind of looks somewhat similar to what they have in the picture, but not that you have to, but I find it easier to go by pictures when I'm picking these things because I'm not really very creative with landscaping, so it's good to have a picture. I actually like doing that with just builds in general, but I do sometimes just build on my own. There's some little greenery there, so I grab that. And I just figure finishes it. And the little bush, I always like putting those out. They're fun. Let me see. I'm just putting a little bit of terrain paint around. I don't put it around the house. I know a lot of people do that, and I did do that afterwards, but anyways, so I remembered to put a garbage can inside and outside, and that's what I did think of putting it in, like I said, but realized I wasn't sure if it would work. So I decided not to. So here's where I'm struggling, because I think where the windows are there, I have a hard time getting them to fit, to sort of cover. So those ones seem to fit the best, so that's why I use them. And then I have these little curtains here. Like I said, I don't think I end up having enough money to put them in the main area, but I'm not 100% sure. Because at this point, I'm kind of running out of money. As you can see there, I sold the TV thinking I might replace it with a different TV, but that's not actually that much less expensive, so I decided just to stick with the TV I had. And that's where I make the basement smaller to get me some money, because this bathroom it's a master bathroom and it's got nothing in it whatsoever. So, well, it does now, but it's really short on money, so I decided to do that. And then that's when I decided to get rid of the vanity, because I need the money for that. I think probably it would be easier if you had maybe 90,000, and that was just I got called away, so it moved. And this is that bathroom was the one that's supposed to be the laundry room. So I didn't really need to make it a bathroom. I could have just done something with it. But, from practicality, if you're actually going to use this for playing in, I find having, more bathrooms in a house when you have multiple Sims, the better. And then I try to get another potty and I don't have enough money. So I realized that was a more expensive potty that I needed. So I got the cheapest potty and flipped it and put it there, and then I changed the mirror from the little girl's room and put it out here, because it's sort of nice in reality to have a mirror at the door so you can check what you look like before you leave the house. So I put that there, though I think I actually preferred the mirror I had there in the first place a little bit better, but it was okay. It's a mirror, and that mirror made it into another bathroom if I remember correctly. So I'm really running out. See, this is, like I said, I wanted to put a microwave out and a tea or a coffee maker, but I just didn't have the money. But instead I spent some money on clutter. Very inexpensive clutter. And this is where I said I tried to put it in the middle of the table, and I just couldn't. I don't know if other people, if there's a trick for doing that, and perhaps there is, but because I don't actually put a lot of clutter out, I don't have the knack for placing things precisely as others probably do. But I did add a little bit to it, just to add a little bit of, I guess, character. And even there I added something to that's where I sell that rooster or chicken or whatever it is, because I just don't have the money, and put something much less expensive out on there. And then because I like to put some bedside lights in here, and I realized I'm not going to use that light in there. That was just for to be able to see while I was building, so I replace it with the light I want. Again, I was interrupted, and so I'm over with the little boys' room, and this is a fun. Like I said, the decor in here is more kid-like, even though the actual furniture isn't. But, I think that's not uncommon to have the furniture be regular furniture and just decorate it with kid stuff in a room. And I think about putting a mat in here. I don't think I end up doing that. But I do put, the toilet paper rolls, and I would have liked to have put towels, but I didn't have the money. This is me looking to see whether I have the money to put the towels, and I don't, without cheating and giving them more money. Because what I did is I put the family on the lot, and then I just gave them 70,000, and that's how I knew I kept running out of money, because they're actually on the lot while I'm building, so that I didn't have to monitor, because you can check by going under the eye. And that's it. That's the floor plan for the house. So here's just a zoom in and a little walkthrough of the house with the family in it. There's the mom watching some TV. They've been in here a little bit, and she's made a salad. It's sitting out on the little island. I'm walking through, that's the chandelier, I think from Vintage Glamour, if I remember correctly. We're going through into their bedroom. There with the yellows. And that closet, that is the closet that was supposed to have the actual closet, and I turned it into just a decorative closet. But it just has a pass-through, an archway, as opposed to an actual door into it. And this is the bathroom that's meant to be the laundry room, with a little potty chair that I did actually end up getting a second potty chair in there. And the other potty chair is actually in the toddler's room. And there's a little nook with... So I go in, and there's the mom. She's moved, and she's now with the little boy. And they're all in here. Even the dad's in here. I think I even saw the toddler there briefly. And there's that little bathroom, kind of clean looking. Would have been nice to have a towel. And there's that toddler bookshelf. And this is the little boy's room, with the room for him to collect some things and put on his shelf. I decided I find it's actually good just to have the shelves for the collectibles. There's so many in the game that they can put on there, including the cards. Not that I have the little thing, but you know, if you had a bit more money, you could finish out the basement and put some more things down there. And there is the office with an easel and a computer and a little bit of painting. And out we go. Get another look at the living room with the TV still on because I think the toddler was watching it, so it got left on. And we're out, and that's it. So thanks very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye! If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks very much.